Good evening and salutations, my GH fans. Let's talk about Brooklyn for a minute. And kind of Chase a little bit. Because, well, Chase comes back from, I don't know, somewhere. And he's sitting there talking to Brooklyn. And he's all like, so you've been here for a couple of days. And I just kind of wonder, do you have a plan? This isn't like forever or anything like that, right? And I'm not going to lie, it kind of annoyed me a little bit because Chase was the person who invited Brooklyn to stay with her. To stay with him. Okay? And now you're all like, oh, well, I'm just saying, you can't be comfortable here. And there's different reasons. And even Brooklyn's like, you invited me here. If you want me to leave, I'll leave, And then Chase is sitting there backtracking it all like, well, that's not what I meant, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And then he starts talking about her family. Her family loves her. Her family misses her. And Brooklyn is pretty much just about the same thing. She doesn't want pity, and that's what it comes down to. And if it wasn't for, her being attacked, she feels that her father wouldn't have felt that way. And you know what? She's right. Let's just be honest. She is absolutely right. Brooklyn, Ned wouldn't have felt that way. Regardless of how many times Olivia kept pushing to sit there and kind of like, maybe you should probably apologize. Just a little bit, just kind of meet her halfway or something. So, when Ned gets over to Chase's place, after Chase is all like, no, you can stay here as long as you want. Bro, do you want her to stay, or do you want her, like, what are you doing? Like, I felt like that was just kind of annoying. That just irked me. So anyway, Ned is sitting there talking to Brooklyn, and Brooklyn is just not having it. Not having any of it. Hell, she's just like, she pretty much says the same thing that I'm saying. That, you wouldn't have felt so bad, you wouldn't be sitting there being so forgiving if, I wasn't attacked. And it pretty much just was just the same thing. And she just didn't forgive him. Really. She really was just like, she was just being stubborn and just not forgiving him. And, yeah. Didn't really go anywhere. So, if you didn't watch it, I just saved you a whole hour of Brooklyn and Ned drama. You're welcome. Now, I'm not gonna lie, in reality, I kind of want to talk about a time waster. But I guess they like to call it fillers. Bobby and Scott. Fillers. Just time fillers. Because, okay, so I think they're at, some bar. I don't remember which one. It'll come to the Floating Rib. Okay, so that's the Floating Rib. And apparently they were dating. That, happened off screen that no one knew about. So they were dating and everything like that, and Bobby is pretty much talking about her being fired from the hospital and how upset she is, and Scott is just not really paying attention at all. Hell, he's not even looking at his phone, okay? He's not even looking at his phone. He's literally sitting there playing with the bar peanuts. Like, dude, what are you doing? So he gets a call, totally just ignores everything that she's sitting there saying. Hell, she says something about maybe I should go back to selling the girlfriend experience. Pretty sure it wasn't called the girlfriend experience back in her day, but whatever. So Scott goes and takes the call. He comes back, and then Bobby is all like, she gives her speech, and she pretty much just like, we're breaking up because I don't want us to lose our friendship. And then that's it. Yeah, that's literally it. And I sat there and I'm like, so this scene really didn't matter, did it? Yeah, I guess it was nice to sit there and see Bobby, to sit there and see how she was doing and how she was feeling and stuff like that. So, okay, cool. I guess I can kind of get behind that. But other than that, really a pointless scene. Those two did not change anything in this episode other than the fact that I guess we know that they're still there. So, Yay. And that was it. They broke up, which is, to tell you the truth, I'm sitting up there being like, it didn't really matter at all because I didn't even know they were together. So again, yeah. So you got Nicholas and they're talking to Lulu. He gets the mysterious text, and so does Ava with Nina. Except for Ava tells Nina about the kiss and also tells her about the blackmailing photo. So Nicholas is the first person to get to this pier, and some mysterious person comes. And I'm not gonna lie, this part just kind of just. I would normally laugh at a scene like this, but I don't know. I felt like I was kind of cheated a little bit. Like, I felt like I was kind of like, I guess, bamboozled in some sort of way because I felt like they had to find some sort of way to stretch out this whole Nicholas and Ava and Liz and Franco drama so much that they couldn't even be bothered to show you who was the person that was behind this blackmailing scene. Now, I can sit there and say, well, maybe they'll show it tomorrow because they kind of get into more detail. Be like, you're the person and blah, 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 blah. But I don't know if they are. I mean, this was such a very cheap way of like just not having any ideas of how to further this storyline or the best way to sit there and deal with it. And this was the worst stall tactic I've seen in a while. Yeah. So Nicholas talks to this mysterious person, and then apparently this person wants money, and I don't know, he says he's gonna get it, but it's gonna take more than a day or something. So I'm just like, dude, seriously, is it really worth? I mean, I guess it is. I mean, for Nicholas, I guess it's easier for him to pay. See, here's the thing. I feel like it's more damaging for Nicholas to pay the money than for Ava. Because if Ava pays the money, because yeah, Ava does go and see this mysterious person also, and she comes in with a gun and blah, 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 blah. I'm now sitting there thinking that this mysterious person is Nell. But then again, somebody, I'll get into the other scene in a minute, but now I don't think it's Nell. I have no idea who the hell it is. My point is that it's more beneficial for Nicholas to pay the money than Ava, because Ava could pay money, but then she'll wind up just losing everything anyway because this person still has damning evidence on Ava. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. This whole thing was just, I was just disappointed. Let's just put it this way. Disappointed, and which brings me to my other part. Not disappointed, but let's just move on because honestly, to tell you the truth, disappointment just kind of just sums it up. TJ, Molly, and Stella. So Stella talks to TJ first, and TJ is still sitting there talking about the drama. I mean, not the drama, the trauma that he's facing. As far as, him being abducted and stuff like that, and, pretty much sitting there saying to Stella, listen, if it wasn't for Molly, I don't think I would have got through this. Molly is feeling guilty as hell, and every single day that she lies, it just piles on more on top of the guilt. The guilt train, at this point. We're just going to call it a guilt train, because that's exactly what it is. So anyway, Molly comes back. I don't remember who left first, but yeah, it was Molly. Molly left first, and that's when TJ kind of broke down a little bit about his trauma that he's still facing, and the dreams and the nightmares and stuff like that. And then Molly comes back, and then apparently TJ gets a mysterious call from his study partner or whatever. So TJ takes the call, and Molly talks to Stella. Now, first, they talk for a little bit, and Molly thinks that Stella knows about her I don't know, her cheating. I couldn't come up with anything clever. Her cheating. And of course Molly, of course Stella doesn't. But then, you know, Stella's like, well, listen, I'm just happy for you guys, and I'm just glad that you're so much of an honest and decent and kind-hearted person that would never lie or anything. That's not what she said. But the point is, she is just laying on thick, and Molly is just starting to crack. Just a little bit. Just every day. And the thing is, you can see it in her facial expressions, which, great job on the actress. And so, yeah, it's just cracking every single day. But, well, like GH, they're just going to sit there and stretch it out as long as they possibly can. So, yay. And that pretty much ends that scene. So I think the last scene we're going to kind of talk about is the Carly, Jason, Jax thing. So, Carly talks to Jason, and pretty much, at first she's just like, Jason, I did something that you're not going to like. Really, Carly? Really? You did something that Jason's not going to like? And at this point, I'm almost just like, Jason, you shouldn't even be surprised at this point. You shouldn't even have a facial expression at this point. You should just be like, okay, so what did you do this time? And that's kind of what he does later on. He's like, I have to run interference? What do I need to do to prepare myself? And of course, Carly kind of drags this whole, I'm going to tell you the truth. Because at first she was like, I can't tell Sonny this, that, and third. And I'm like, oh, come on, seriously? We're really going to do this now? But towards the end of this conversation, and yeah, Lulu came in and Lulu talked to Sonny, and I mean, it was a nice scene, her giving her condolences and everything, but I don't know. I kind of felt like it just was a scene that maybe we didn't really need to see. She could have called. They could have did it off screen, and it really wouldn't have mattered. But that's just my take on it. So anyway, long story short, Carly is about to tell Jason and Sonny about what really happened with Nell. But before that she can actually do that, Jason gets a call from, I guess, one of his inside guys at the PCP. And I'm just there thinking, between the fact that Sonny knows people in the PCP and Cyrus knows people in the PCP, they really need to just do like just get rid of, like, I don't know, all of them. Just start fresh or something. But I don't even know they can do that because, hell, even at this point, Jordan has been compromised. So I don't think it would do anyone any good. Like, if somebody just came in and be like, listen, some of you guys are moles. And I don't know which one it is. But you know what? How about I just fire everyone and just start from scratch? I still, at this point, I think it's a good idea. Cyrus knows people. Sonny knows people. I mean, Sonny's been knowing people for years, so they just need to just clean up that whole force. But anyway, Jason gets a call, and, he sits there and tells Sonny and Carly, hey, they found Nell's body. She's confirmed dead, and they found the body. So I guess we'll just find out tomorrow about that whole thing. Man, it's gonna suck for Nina. Now I sit there and think about it, it's gonna suck for Nina. She's gonna have so many different emotions between the fact that she's gonna have a ton of guilt. Okay, she's gonna have a ton of guilt for how she treated Nell. And she's going to have a ton of anger for Carly and pretty much her whole family. Yeah. So, and also she's going to be really pissed off at Jax because Jax met up with Nina. And, Nina was like, well, listen. Cause this is when, what's her name? Ava walked out. And she was like, listen, I'm just so glad that we have a functional, trustworthy relationship, and we're all good. And Jax was like, yep, we're all good. We're all good, yep. Just no dishonesty from my side. And that's literally the look that Jax had on his face. Now, before I go, there's two things I do want to sit there and say. And this is about the whole Mike situation. Now, I know this is going to sound kind of bad. Now, I was talking to one of my customers about Mike and stuff like that, and she was saying, like, you know, because she was watching a soap opera with her husband or whatever, you know, and her husband got in a room one day, and he was like, so is Mike, like, gone this time? And I'm not gonna lie, I kind of laughed a little bit, because I was like, damn, I'm so glad that wasn't, I'm not the only person that thought that way. Don't get me wrong, it was a very sad and emotional scene. And I'm not going to lie and be like, I didn't tear up just a little bit. But that whole thing just went on way too long. And I'm so glad that if they actually showed Nell's body, they showed the actress, they showed something. That is just over at this point. Nell is done, and we could just kind of just move forward. I mean, there's going to be more questions and stuff like that, but the whole Nell saga is done, so, excuse me, yeah. And, yeah, that's actually it. One of those episodes where I felt like Bobby and Scott scenes were just not necessary, and this whole thing would have probably been, like, maybe 25 minutes at most. At most. And that's without commercials. But that's just my guess. So anyway, that's going to do it for this review of GH. Thank you so much for watching. Be safe. I will catch you in the next review.